The following is a production of the 2- and 4-year communication programs offered at SUNY Cobleskill. It's another edition of the Things Happening on Campus That You Didn't Know About, But Probably Should podcast. I'm your host, Chris Parlato. Hang out with us for a little bit. Hello and welcome back to our 6th edition of Things Happening on Campus That You Didn't Know About But Probably Should. I'm your host, Chris Parlato. Today, I'm glad to introduce the Executive Director of the Institute of Rural Vitality, Dr. Scott Ferguson. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi, Chris. It's great to be with you.
So, what exactly is the Rural Vitality Institute? It's something I literally know nothing about, and I've just kind of seen it and on some things around campus and heard about it. Tell me a little about what that is.
So the Institute for Rural Vitality was established in 2016, 2017 timeframe. The college actually won an award for it. It is the outward-facing arm of the college that engages with the community, particularly in the areas of economic development and cultural development. And think of it this way. The state has funding for your education, but anything that the college is engaged in outside of that state funding is really where the Institute comes in. So we manage a bunch of grants to promote economic development in our region and engage the college in activities that benefit the area. So
you mentioned that you're involved with the community and some economic things. Is that you also involved with some other things on campus? Like I know that there's a big variety of different majors and different programs on campus with I know like agriculture is another major on campus. I know I was in Alumni Commons for 2 years, and I used to see all the people with the agriculture majors doing different things with farming and the tractors and stuff. And do you guys do anything involved with other programs on campus like that?
Yeah, so there's 4 major foci in the Institute. The first one is economic development that I already talked about. There's specific economic development initiatives that the college is a participant in or engaged in individually. The second one is entrepreneurship. We have a revolving grant fund, basically, that we manage that provides entrepreneurial assistance to entrepreneurs throughout the Mohawk Valley region, so multiple county area and beyond. And a large portion of those, probably more than 3/4, are of an agriculture nature. They're a farm or food business. And with those, we help them continue to develop their business from concept all the way through new product development and expansion. Also, in the last fall, so it'll be just a year now, we introduced the Steps for Success entrepreneurship program, which is focused on helping students develop a business while they're here pursuing whatever college degree they choose at Cobleskill. The third area is shared use facility. So we have kitchens that aren't used except for academic purposes at specific times of the day. We have a dairy processing center that you can say the same about. We have a food packaging lab. We have a brewing and distilling lab. So there's a number of lab spaces that we manage outside use of when they're not being used for academic purposes. Fourth area is credentials. So it's all of your non-traditional education, whether it's for credit or not for credit. The Institute is involved in administering and advancing SUNY Cobleskill's position in the education market of having credentials for workforce development and other education advancement for individuals in the community.
Yeah, that sounds like you guys do a lot of different things.
We do.
And a lot of those things could be very helpful, not even just to students, but for anyone really. Like you mentioned, being an entrepreneur and learning skills on how to start your own business. Is that what kinds of, now you mentioned that it's not just students, is it other people also that are part of this program, who are learning these skills and being a part of this program?
Great question, Chris. So when we initially started, it was focused on farm and food businesses, and it was exclusively non-students, so entrepreneurs in the community. And it was relatively a local community. That's expanded now to be the whole entire Mohawk Valley. And from a position of where they are in the continuum of business development, it's everything from concept. So we have people that attend our business development boot camp that just have an idea. They think they have an idea to create a business, to people that have been in business 30 years and they say, you know what, I really want to develop this new product and take my business a certain direction. How can you help me do that?
That's really great to have all of these different things that are like hearing about you saying, like learning about like creating different products and learning how to kind of like get that out there. It's really interesting to see how there's so many things on campus that, like, when I usually hear about like going to college and getting a degree, it's usually how to qualify for getting a certain job. But I'm seeing more so like just people using it to a college degree to have more options to that they could use it either to qualify for a specific job or even just use those skills on their own to start their own business. And I think it's great to see how, even though you're so involved with the campus and with the students and everything, that you're teaching other people who aren't even necessarily students on campus, just learning these different skills and talking about it. It's very interesting.
To your point where you started, we were one of the first 3 ag innovation centers in the U.S. And through that, we have monthly interactions with the rest of those ag innovation centers across the country. And you're right, we have a lot of unique opportunities here at SUNY Cobleskill that even other ag schools don't have at their location. And what we're trying to do as the Institute is promote that not only to our own students, but also to the community. And when you talked about products, we have now, since 2019, we've now helped 702 businesses create 102 new products. So we're very much involved in that economic development phase of businesses moving forward, which thereby help the communities that they're a part of for people to be employed and earn a living there, et cetera.
That's really interesting, actually. That's great that it's not even just an idea. It's actually, like you mentioned, helping so many people actually be successful and get their ideas out there. What kinds of things I'm really interested in hearing, like, do you do to help people do that? Is it like putting your ideas kind of out there and like getting other people's opinions on it, like focus groups? What kinds of things do you do with that?
No, actually, most of it is one-on-one consultation, advisement, what the government calls technical assistance for most of the grants that we administer. So we help them think through their process, them being the entrepreneur, think through their business and the process that they should follow. So it takes on many forms. Just this week, we were having a conversation with an entrepreneur about how we could help them build their new financial plan. They're trying to start a new division of their business, and what that financial plan would look like for that new enterprise that they're thinking about creating. And then other times it helps people become MWBE certified so that they can increase their marketplace. It's creating a new product with them. It's helping them source suppliers for the ingredients that they need, finding a co-packer to have their product mass manufactured. It really takes many different forms of what we're helping them do.
That's great. It sounds like a lot definitely a lot to it. That uh, I know you mentioned that you use some of or this program uses some of the facilities that aren't really may not be being used by a particular program or I saw actually that I actually just noticed in the beginning of the semester I was walking past Prentice Hall, and I remember when Prentice Hall was the dining hall and before when Champlain was under renovation, and there was like I know a lot of things have moved around a lot since the first year I've been here with COVID and everything, and I just happened to notice I was like Institute for Rural Vitality, and I was like that's I've never noticed that before. Is that are you guys mainly based in Prentice Hall, or are you guys all over the place on campus?
That's a great question. Last year, we started consolidating our team to Prentice Hall. There are 7 of us on the Institute for Rural Vitality team, and we are all now located in Prentice on the 2nd floor. And we've also been consolidating some of the offerings that we have for entrepreneurs to Prentice. So that's where the brewing and distilling lab was created, up on the 2nd floor. That's where we put the food packaging lab down on the 1st floor. There's the bistro there, which we use that certified kitchen quite a bit with entrepreneurs. With this fall, we had a roasted salsa made there. We had a pepper schmear made there. We had a hot pepper sauce made there. We had a Bloody Mary mix made there. So lots of things occur in Prentice now. We have a large variety of things going on there.
That sounds really good, and I know I've heard about like some other students telling me I've heard a lot of students mention that they were taking classes in like distilling and brewing and like different things like that. Are you is this program part of any classes, or is this totally separate?
Well, that's an interesting question. Steps for Success does have some academic components to it. But the example you brought up of the brewing equipment, that brewing and distilling lab, the equipment was actually purchased by an IRV grant. We changed we asked for a modification to an existing grant to buy different equipment to create that lab, actually for a brewing and distilling class to be held academically. So now they have a whole academic set of classes that are offered in brewing, distilling, winemaking, and they're able to use that equipment that we secured for the use of entrepreneurs and academics.
That's really cool. Are you guys involved with culinary at all?
Only from the perspective of the kitchens, and a lot of the participants that we work with are involved in food in one way or another. Yeah.
And so that's definitely something that even me personally, I knew nothing about this. It's really interesting to learn so much about this program. It's just one out of many things on campus that I didn't even know about, but I'm glad I do now. And I think hopefully more students learn about this, and maybe if they take an interest in it, maybe even want to participate in it. I think that's great to have more people know about this, because it's definitely something I didn't even know about. But I'm glad to hear about it.
Well, thank you. Actually, 3 of the members of our team actually are graduates from Cobleskill, so they are starting to come back and be involved in what we're doing. It's a good experience.
I've seen I've talked to some people on campus who are in that same situation, who were students and then stayed, got a job on campus, and that's something I've even considered, because it's such it becomes like a home, and it's like you get used to it, and it's like and I like the environment here, and I know it's changed a lot in some ways not so much, especially like I mentioned with like COVID the first year I was here and stuff. But it's just a really nice and especially for college, it's very very small as far as the amount of students. It's a nice place to be. I like the environment of the campus here.
Yeah, that closeness enables us to really build a good relationship with the community around us as well.
And are you guys also involved with any other of the schools, colleges, like any other SUNY schools? Or is it mainly just here?
Right now, we're in the process of trying to license the Steps for Success curriculum that was developed here by myself and Dr. Tran and Olivia Marine, who is an attorney on our team. And we've had a number of SUNYs that have asked about potentially utilizing that curriculum.
I think I know there's a lot of SUNY schools that are also close by, and I'm still like seeing hearing about SUNY schools that I didn't even know existed that aren't too far away. And I know they're involved with some things. Like I've had some professors who are actually taught at other SUNY schools. Like I know SUNY Oneonta isn't too far away.
Yep. I've been in a number of meetings with SUNY Oneonta. We're trying to work with them on what aspects that the IRV has experienced over its life to be able to assist them with their community development efforts. They've sent some people here to talk with us and see our facilities as well. We've had similar interactions with other campuses. So yes, that collaboration does happen between SUNY campuses.
The more collaboration and the more people interacting with each other could only be a good thing, I guess, to expand further and have more people learn about it.
It enables more to be available to the students of that campus, each of the campuses, and also the communities that surround them. So, if there's a ag or food production company in Oneonta, for example, there's a lot of expertise here at Cobleskill that could provide assistance to them. And if we collaborate with Oneonta, then that opportunity exists for those folks.
Yes, and a lot of these things you mentioned are something that not even just people in like something to do with like rural vitality or agriculture. It's something that could be applied to anything, to someone, no matter what field they're going into. So I think that's really great for anyone who wants to learn more to just take that extra step in learning more. And I think that's actually all I have for now.
Okay.
Thanks so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on the show, and it's been a pleasure to be with you.
Same.
Thanks.
So that wraps up this episode of Things Happening on Campus You Didn't Know About, but probably should. I'm your host, Chris Parlato. I'll see you next time.